Hi guys, Dirk Aperture here, back to the first episode of a new series called Just Tech, where I talk about tech. The topics we'll be talking about today are why we need next-gen consoles and Apple's decline. Now, first off, of course, is why we need next-gen consoles. The mix, as you know, the PS4 has been announced. I did a video on my thoughts on specs, and yeah, they they seem very good specs. There is one issue I found with it. Just go watch that video to find out. But there's another group, and there's a lot of Xbox 720 news too. However, there's many people who say, why would you need next gen consoles? And there's a very simple reason. It's very simple, seriously. It's the fact that developers are limited so much, and the console hardware has been officially maxed out. It's been officially maxed out. If you want proof, just go and watch Far Cry 3 frame rate videos on consoles. The Xbox 360K when attained 30 and the PS3 is stuck at 20 and goes below that too. It's pretty bad. Same with Crysis 3, both of them are above 30 there too. I mean below 30. It's it because the games are now running below 30 FPS on the consoles. That means the consoles will soon be unable to play the newest games, which is why we definitely need a new generation quickly. Also, there are some new there are some new technologies around. When the when the consoles came when the previous gen consoles came out, Wi-Fi was a lot slower. And that was completely off topic. Okay, but there is a lot of newer gen stuff that the next gen consoles can take advantage of, and there's some pretty cool features they can implement into newer consoles. And newer features means more developers. Plus, the new console. Plus, there's one other simple reason. It's a little joke you could make. Your smartphone and my tablet, which is a Nexus 7, have more RAM than gaming consoles. My Nexus 7 has more RAM than both the consoles combined. Well, the 360 and PS3 and the Wii probably has even less, so yeah. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on to Apple's decline. Apple's decline. Oh boy, I saw this coming. I saw this coming. It was evident that Apple's been declining. That Apple's beginning a decline over the past couple months. People are really starting to switch to Android. And one point during last year, the Galaxy S3 outsold the iPhone 5. It's all pretty going bad for Apple. And now top it all off, now they're reporting a drop in revenue. Now some people might say, oh, a drop in revenue doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean the profit's affected. Actually, revenue is their sales. And when they're not selling their products, these products take up warehouses and they just become a loss from making them, which is pretty much bad for Apple. This means their profits will go down as well. There's also Android tablets that are really starting to destroy the iPad mini. Nexus 7 destroys iPad mini, by the way. And the fact that Apple's remained stagnant and dull over the past couple of years made them lose their cool factor, a key thing that helped them win back customers to the Mac when Steve Jobs returned to the company. Now, personally, I don't blame Tim Cook on this. It's not exactly 100% his fault. After all, the next two iPhones were designed by Steve Jobs. This means the iPhone 5 and 5S. So yeah, I just pointed a finger at Steve, but it's not really his fault again. He didn't really he was, back when he was alive, the Galaxy S3 wasn't even out yet. The phones were that big, so we couldn't really see it coming that well. But Apple needs to reinvent themselves. They need something new with the iOS 7. They need something new with the iPhone 5S. They need something new with the iPad. They need something new with the iPad mini. And they need something new in general. There is talks about the iTV, the iWatch and all. That might seem pretty interesting, but something tells me it's going to be overpriced. Yeah. I wouldn't be too interested unless iOS 7 really is different. And since iOS 7 is in hands of Johnny Ives, which is personally my favorite guy at Apple, there is probably a good little chance that iOS 7 might be something different. Also, maybe he can fix Apple Maps too while they're at it, because that really did hurt them as well. You wanna know how bad Apple Maps is? I was looking at Google Images. I typed in Apple Maps sucks. And one of the images was literally at the airport of an airport. It's had a sign stained with paper maps for people to take, and you know what the reason was? It said paper maps for iOS 6 users. Okay, got poked from my friend TeamSpeak. Okay, bye to you too. Great. Well, anyway, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. Cheese sticks. And subscribe to Dark Aperture, my channel. Goodbye.